Hello and welcome to episode 5 of Keeping Up with Kean. I'm your host, Louis Rella. Today we'll be spotlighting two Kean students and talking about their experiences while applying to college. We're going to hear two perspectives on going through the admissions process as an incoming freshman and as a senior going into grad school. Our first guest today is Kean Everett, who is a freshman majoring in forensic chemistry. Thank you for taking the time to join us today and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
So Caitlin, what was the application process for you like when you were applying for colleges?
So coming in and applying was a little bit overwhelming and a little bit stressful because I was the oldest and neither of my parents really had too much college experience other than like community college or some college. So I didn't really know what was happening at first.
Oh. When you were narrowing down where you wanted to go, what about Kean made it one of your choices of schools to attend?
So when I was looking at Kean, one of the big things for me was the major because it's hard to find my major at a lot of schools.
Yeah.
So Kean had a great program for my major. It was the area, I knew the area growing up, so those things were kind of factors that I really was looking at along with the financial aid.
Oh. How many schools did you apply to?
I applied to 12 schools going in to my college application process.
Oh, wow. And what made you finally select Kean as the college for you?
So I toured Kean pretty late. I toured it like mid-April, and when I toured it, I was like, oh, I actually really like it here. And I fell in love with the school, learned more about the major and the things that they had to offer, and that was really what drove me to commit here.
Okay. Thank you, Caitlin. So from my knowledge, you are also a student ambassador in the Office of Admissions, is that correct?
Yeah, this is my first semester there.
So as a student who recently went through the process, what do you feel prospective students should know about Kean?
I think the big thing to note is that we have a great community here, and no matter what you're a part of or what you want to do, you're going to find a place and you're not going to be like lost in the population.
What advice do you give to prospective students and their families?
Definitely ask questions. I think something with the process that I never really did was ask questions about schools or about the financial aid or what they have to offer, and I lost a lot of opportunities there, so asking questions will open up those doors for you.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to come on the show and talk to us. Coming up next, we'll be welcoming back a guest from our first episode of Caitlin Bland and learning a bit more about the admissions process from a senior student who is also transitioning into our graduate program at Kean.
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
What are you doing in there?
What's that?
I wouldn't do that. What are you doing? What are you looking for?
Stairs. 4 out of 5 college students suffer from fear of stairs. Whether it be to the first floor, the third, or the sixth, the fear is strong. But we need to stop this. We need to work together and conquer these stairs, step by step. So stop taking the elevator, take a deep breath, and take the first step to a new you.
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Welcome back. We spent the episode discussing the stresses of admissions with our first guest. Our next guest is Kathleen Blaine, who is the lead of social media and marketing. Thank you for taking your time out of your day to join us today. We're doing a segment called Student Spotlight, where we ask our guests who are students rapid questions. Welcome back to the show, Kathleen. It is a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. It's nice to be back.
So, Kathleen, my first question for you is, how do you feel you have grown since starting college?
Oh, probably in every way possible. Mentally, emotionally, professionally, Kean really helped me grow since high school.
Yeah. What is something you have learned that they wish you knew when you first started?
I would probably say, don't be afraid to really get out there, to explore, meet new people, but don't forget who you are internally.
Okay. Since you have been at Kean for a while, would you say that the application and admission process has changed since you first applied?
I would say so. I'm a STEM major, and in the past 4 years, that has changed a lot. So I think the requirements that would take to get into it definitely have changed.
Is it easier or harder?
Debatable. I think SAT scores are more of a, bigger factor now since when I was a freshman. So I would say probably a little bit harder, but they'll be fine.
So it's my understanding that you're also going to be continuing your education and pursuing your master's degree. Is that correct?
That is correct. I am in a 5-year program.
How would you say your application process differs from other students applying to graduate school who are not in a 5-year program?
So a regular grad student, their senior year, they'll apply normally. They'll wait to get approved and everything. But for me, I don't have to apply for grad school. They look at all of that when you're in high school and initially apply for your major in the first place.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that response. We're going to take a quick break and be right back to learn a bit more about your role within the admissions department.
Sounds good.
What are you doing in there?
I wouldn't do that. What are you doing? What are you looking for?
Aquí ayudamos a quienes les gusta comer postres ricos.
Sim, muito obrigada. Tchauzinho. Eu estou a fazer isto para ajudar a minha família, comunidade e amigos.
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid.
Knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Back, everyone. Kathleen, what is your role in the admissions department?
So I am a student ambassador, but specifically I'm the lead of social media and marketing.
Okay, what does that mean? What do you do?
So pretty much on a regular basis, I answer phone calls, I answer emails for incoming students or their parents, and I also make a lot of TikToks. I go to events, I record, take pictures for our social medias like Instagram.
Before we get further into your lead as your role as a lead ambassador, can you tell us a bit about what the application and hiring process was like to become a student ambassador? Was it stressful for you? Did you have to prepare in advance?
Yeah, so when I became a student ambassador, I just had a very simple interview with my boss at the time. These are standard interview questions like what are your strengths and weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
But I do know over the years that process has changed. Now they want to do like more scenario-based questions and see how, your strengths and weaknesses when it comes to, how comfortable you are speaking in public or presentations and things like that.
Awesome, thank you. Now, what as a lead ambassador do you oversee?
I oversee our TikTok account most definitely, but when needed, I technically do also oversee the student ambassadors since they are kind of like, you know, the face of Kean in a way. So if I need a picture or a boomerang for Instagram, I would have to oversee them, making sure everyone's smiling, having a good time and everything. So yeah, I guess both. I oversee the ambassadors too.
That's really awesome. I have seen some of the TikToks you and the ambassadors have created. Would you say that they are changing the way prospective students are seeing Kean?
Yes, most definitely. Whenever I make a TikTok, I first ask myself, what do future Kean Cougars want to see?
Yeah.
What are questions that they have that they might not find on the website, or they might not even know they have questions about, and that's how I try to execute it.
And what would you say is your favorite part about working in admissions?
Ooh. I think honestly, just making the TikToks, just going through like open house or events like such as open house or Cougars Climb Higher. Those I just walk around, talk to students, their parents. It's literally my job to just make them laugh and have fun. So I think that's probably my favorite part.
Well, thank you, Kathleen. We are unfortunately out of time for today. We want to thank you for joining us today, and we wish you the best of luck in the rest of your college career and beyond.
Thank you so much.